I'm going to share with you things on fear that you've never heard anywhere else. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to break it down in such a simple way that you're going to understand why you're feeling the fear and you're going to know how to overcome it.
Okay, everyone. So we're going to start now. First of all, I hope that you guys all have loved this past 2 weeks as much as I have. It has been so great. And we've got Katie here, which I'm so excited about. Yeah, you're going to love her. The reason why I asked Katie to come on was because I have a lot of people talk to me about fear, that they have this thing with fear and they, and that's not something that I am good at teaching, honestly, because a fear thing for me is I've learned to get past it. So I suck at teaching it. So Katie is one of my good friends from the inner circle. And she's a master at teaching people how to overcome fear. And I just adore her and love her. She's the real deal. She's got a heart of gold. And so Katie, take it over. How are you? Talk to us a little bit about, first of all, make sure you guys all sign up for her podcast, What's Working Now. Her podcast is What's Working Now. Again, she was one of my members in the inner circle. That's how I met her. And she has done some amazing things. She has sold a children's clothing line that was in like 26 countries, right? Katie, yeah. 26 countries. Yeah. She's been featured like an entrepreneur, these great some awesome accomplishments. I mean, she's, Ellen DeGeneres was, talked about her clothing line on the Ellen DeGeneres show and so many more. So she's just accomplished so many things. And now she's doing what she loves, which is helping coach entrepreneurs. And talk to us about fear today, Katie. Welcome.
Krista, I'm super excited to be here. So honored to be a part of the Limitless Prosperity Challenge. Really excited to talk to you guys today about fear and specifically to show you this simple trick for how to overcome it, because sometimes we aren't even expecting the fear, right? We'll be in the moment, we're about to do the deal, and all of a sudden our body is consumed with fear. So what can we do in that moment to overcome the fear and take the action anyways? That's what I'm going to share with you guys today. And before we hop into today's training, I would like to create an agreement with you, and there's two parts. I first want to invite you to be really present with me. Be right here, right now. I know there's a lot going on in your life. Maybe you've got kids at your ankles, and be right here, right now. Maybe take your phone and turn it on, do not disturb. And the second is to be radically open and honest with yourself. The more that you can tell the truth and be really, really honest, the more I'm able to help you overcome the fear with this simple trick. So you ready? Okay, awesome, cool. Today, I'm going to share with you things on fear that you've never heard anywhere else. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to break it down in such a simple way that you're going to understand why you're feeling the fear and you're going to know how to overcome it. So the first thing you need to understand is fear is a thought. It's a thought. Are you kidding me? It's a thought. Fear is a thought. It is a belief on a projected future that hasn't even happened yet. Isn't that crazy? Hasn't even happened yet. It's a belief in a projected future that hasn't even happened yet. Who here in the room is really good at predicting the future? Has anybody been really, really good at predicting the future? Turns out we're actually really horrible at predicting the future. And the more that we focus on the fear, the more we actually end up creating that. Our mind is a very powerful tool. And the reason we have these fears is we've lost something. We have lost our orientation. The fear slips in because we are not oriented. Orientation requires, it requires 2 points. You need 2 points to be oriented. It's like we're in a boat out in the ocean, we are just adrift. We have no idea where we're going. We don't have a rudder. We don't have any way to orient ourselves. And we're literally just drifting in the ocean. Or it's like being shot in a cannon out into space and we're just floating there in space. And all of a sudden we've lost our orientation. We're not grounded. We're not rooted in anything. And that's when the fear slips in. You want to know what we're afraid of? It's all about us. We're afraid we're going to get hurt. We're afraid we're going to lose our money. We're afraid we're not going to be loved anymore. We're afraid that people are going to think we're not as smart as we hope they think we are. It's all focused on us. That's our fear. And so how do we counter this? There's a couple different things that I want you to see. Fear is not, where do I want to write this? Fear is not a fact. It's not. Again, it's this projected future. It's not fact. It's just projected. It's a made up idea in our mind. And yet it becomes very physical, becomes very crippling. And we can lose our orientation. We lose belief in ourselves. We lose belief in our ideas. We lose belief in what it is that we're building and creating. And the fear creates tremendous drag. It holds us back. Who's experienced this? Oh my gosh. So part of why we are taking the time to really define fear is when it's defined, it becomes actionable, right? When it's defined, it becomes actionable. We can't take action until something is defined. So it's just a thought. It's not fact. And it is this projected future that we're making up in our mind. Our mind is making it up. Why? I don't know. It's trying to protect us from danger. And it's making up these wild, crazy ideas. So if you can recognize that fear is just a thought, guess what? Thoughts are moldable. You can shape your thoughts. And just like fear is a thought, so is faith and belief. It's a thought. Okay? So it's actually, thoughts are shapeable. We can shape them. We can form them in our mind. Your mind is a very, very powerful tool. You can shape it. So yes, your mind is feeding you this fear, and you can stop and recognize, oh, this is a thought. Okay, interesting. Has me, my heart racing, has me feeling all tingly under my arms, has my hands shaking, right? It's just a thought. And you can shape that thought. You can catch it and you can mold it and shape it into something new. What do you shape it into? It goes to this orientation. You need 2 points to shape these thoughts. We need 2 points. This is where the magic happens. Let's get a new color. Okay, you need 2 points. The first, hold on, where do I want to write this? The first is, who am I? What? Why would we ask that question? Who am I? Because, do you remember how I said the fear is all based on us? We're afraid we're going to get hurt. We're afraid we're going to lose our money. We're forgetting who we are. Who you are is a choice. In January, I moved my family, my husband, my 4 kids, we moved to Puerto Rico. It was a choice because I'd made a decision a long time ago that I'm an adventurous woman, that I live a not normal life, that I live the life that I'm helping my clients to create. And I'm a woman of action. So in 2 weeks, we'd made a decision. We were on a plane. We were in Puerto Rico because that's who I am. I've made that decision. I've made that choice. Who am I? This is the first part. This is how we're orienting ourselves with 2 points. So it's like all of a sudden, now we have a rudder in our boat. Oh, okay. This is question number 1. Who am I? It grounds you. It orients you. And then all of a sudden the fear can try and come at you and you're like, sorry, I know who I am. You can't scare me because I've already made that decision. Remember, this is a choice. You're not a victim in your life. Oh, you can't even see that, but you know what it says. It is a choice. And if I had 5 more days with you, I would dive into this so deep. Okay. The second spot that we need to orient ourselves, it's over here. Please tell me you can see this, or is that in the highlight as well? No, you can see it. Okay, cool. The second spot that you need to orient yourself is another question. Okay. So the first question is, who am I? And the second question is, what do I want? Want. Not what should I do? Not what am I supposed to do? Not what do other people think I should want? What do you want? Again, this puts you in the driver's seat. What do I want? Why? It goes back to choice and agency. Your power is inseparably tied to choice and agency. You've got to choose. Is that scary? Yeah, sometimes it can be. It can be intimidating. But that's part of what's happening with the fear is you're not choosing. And the more that we fear and we stand in this place of indecision, we magnify the fear. You want to eliminate fear? Start making decisions and moving forward. It immediately helps you to eliminate the fear. You're aligning with your power to choose. Who's experienced this? I saw some people clapping hands. All right, I love this. Yes, when you make decisions, you align with your power. It's that profound. So who am I? What do I want? Let me tell you a quick story. I was an entrepreneur, mother of four. I built a multi-million-dollar international business, as Krista was talking about. And I had 2,000 stores in the US that were distributing my products. I'm a product designer. Products that I had designed and manufactured overseas that had my brand on them. 2,000 stores in the US, like Nordstrom, Costco, Target, all selling my product. And then distribution in 26 different countries. Pretty incredible, right? I had visibility. I was featured on the Ellen DeGeneres show, the Rachel Ray show, the Today Show, on the cover of Entrepreneur magazine. What? Mother of four? I mean, I was living the dream. And all of a sudden, fear started to slip in, which was, my empire is so big. What if it all comes crashing down? I was terrified. And I was trying to find the path forward. In business, there's no autopilot. You have to constantly be innovating and pivoting. Am I right? Yeah, you cannot hit cruise control. The moment you hit cruise control, you're slowly falling down. And so it was time to innovate. It was time to pivot. It was time to expand. And I was terrified because I had a team of 16 in my 20,000 square foot warehouse. I had distribution all over the world. And what if I made a decision that disrupted all of that and compromised my relationships with my distributors, with the media? Like, I was terrified and I could not make a decision. And for 2 years, I was trying to figure this out. I'm a woman of faith. I'm on my knees praying to God. I'm journaling, I'm reading scriptures, and I'm like, just tell me what to do. Tell me what to do. You know, I'm a woman of faith. And you just point the light and I'll jump. You know, I'm a leaper. I will jump and I will do the thing, but you just tell me the right thing to do. Okay? In that in itself, I was not in this place. I wasn't oriented. I was waiting for God to tell me what to do. And he's like, Katie, I've given you agency. I want you to choose. And I'm like, I can't choose. There's so much on the line right now. Are you kidding me? Just, I need to make sure this all works. And as much as he loves me, he wasn't giving me the answers. And that's because he loves me, right? And he was saying this, I want you to choose. I was terrified. You want me to choose? You want me to choose? Oh, cute. You've got the eternal perspective and I'm supposed to choose? I can't make the right decision. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Again, I was not in this place of choice and agency. And all the fear was slipping in. And one day I was talking to somebody and he said, Katie, you already know what to do. And I was like, I don't. And I gave him everything that I was sharing with you. And he was like, well, God's told you what to do. And I'm like, no, he has not. He said, well, he's given you agency. He wants you to choose. And that really terrified me. And that's when all my fear really came to the surface. What if my clients lose their job or my team loses their job? What if it all comes crashing down? What if I can't support my family? What if I destroy the whole thing that I've been building for the last 12 years? It was scary. It was terrifying. And the more I let this kind of percolate in my mind, he wants you to choose, the more I started to realize that's true. He does want me to choose. And as terrified as I was, as I'm standing there figuratively at the edge of a cliff, I made a decision and I jumped, and it terrified me. And I thought, what if I'm making the biggest mistake of my life? What if I look back in a year, 2 years, 5 years, and I say, that was a big, big mistake and I'm way off track and I can't come back and fix it? Those were all of the thoughts that were having me experience fear. And I had to make a decision and declare who I am. Again, terrified me. And I had to make a decision on what do I want. I made a decision. This is right when I met Krista. I made a decision. I got an offer on my company, an offer so big I couldn't refuse it. And I thought, I hadn't imagined selling my company at this point. I thought I was building this thing to pass down to my kids. And all of a sudden I was like, actually, I think that's what I want. And I made the decision. I sold the company and I made a leap into business coaching. I felt so underqualified. I didn't feel like I had the authority. I didn't feel like I had the information, the right to be teaching people how to grow their business. I was terrified. I leaped into the unknown, and it's with these things that I made that jump. And today, what am I doing? I'm living the life of my dreams. How? Because I oriented myself. I made these decisions. Who am I? It is a choice and a declaration. How do you do it? Literally with pen and paper. Pen and paper. We make these decisions. Does it feel weird? Yes. Does it feel not true in the moment? Yes. Is it scary? Yes. That's where the growth is. That's where the very thing that you want, this expansion, this limitless prosperity, that's where it is. It's in that discomfort zone. There's no growth in the comfort zone. There's none. No. The only place you find the growth is in the discomfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone. Make the decisions. Make the declaration. What do you want? So when you're in the moment, you're about to sign a deal. It's the biggest deal you've ever done before. It's terrifying you. What can you do? You can answer these two questions and you can make the declaration. Declare. Who am I? And what do I want? Is it easy to answer? Those are probably two of the most difficult questions you could ever answer in your life. It's terrifying.
It's so funny too, Katie. People will always say what they don't want. Like if you ask them, what do you want? They'll say, oh, I don't want. And they'll just go on and on about what they don't want, but they don't know how to define what they want.
Yeah, in fact, stay away from the I don't know monster. When we say I don't know, our brain says, oh, good, my job here is done. And it disappears. Our brain disappears and we can't think, we're not oriented. And so as terrifying as it is to answer this question, what do I want? You've got to start somewhere. And Krista, actually answering what you don't want is a way to begin to start to answer what you do want. So if you are in that place of I don't know, you can start saying, well, I sure as heck know I don't like the way my bank account looks. And I don't like that I'm not spending enough time with my kids. I don't like the way that my marriage looks, right? And we can say, well, I don't want those things. And we can start there. You can actually even start there. And you can start to mold and shape your thoughts and concepts of your life with your thoughts. It's incredible. So what does my life look like today? Because I was in that place of fear. I was at that cliff. I was afraid to jump. What does my life look like today? I work 12 to 15 hours a week. I get paid ridiculous amounts of money to do what I do because I'm exceptionally good at it. And my clients get a huge ROI. I get to travel the world. I'm living on the beaches of Puerto Rico. My kids are homeschooling. They're out there spearfishing, surfing, scuba diving. It's a life that I created here by doing these two things I just taught you. So when you're in that moment and the fear is showing up, answer these two questions. Who am I? What's my answer to those? I'm a woman of God. I'm a light to this world. I'm a powerful businesswoman. I am Katie Richardson. Get out of my way. Those are my declarations. And what do I want? I want to become the woman that God created me to be. That's my North Star. That's my orientation. Who am I? That's your compass. It's your rudder. It keeps you grounded. What do I want? That's your North Star. Do you see the 2 points? All of a sudden we're oriented. We're no longer drifting in space. So I would like to take the last few minutes that we have and open it up to Q&A so that I can answer any questions that you have on fear. Remember those 2 things. Who am I? What do I want?
Raise your hand if you can with the reactions, and then I can call on you. Or if there's any questions in the chat. Okay, great. So we've got make sure I'm only going to call on you if you've got your camera on. You gotta have your camera on. I won't call on you. So Steve, you're first.
Quick question. I love the idea when you talk about fear. How do you overcome fear when you did make that decision and you fear? What do you do? Snap, switch to the yellow wrist? What immediately you do?
You have to choose, and immediately you have to move. If you stay frozen, you'll stay in the fear. So you have to choose and move. You've got to get going. When we stand still, it's like we're just sitting in this puddle of fear, and we can't. And the more we stay there, the more we stay stuck. So you've got to choose and then put that choice, that decision into action immediately. And guess what? More than getting the right answer and making the right decision, this is more critical. And if you choose and move, and maybe you make a mistake, you'll see it faster because you were moving.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you. Diane, and then Morad, and then Violetta.
Hi, this was really wonderful, Katie. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, I'm at a point, well, I've had a couple of careers and entrepreneurial type things, direct sales companies. I always rise to the top. But I self-sabotage. I reach a level that I'm just right there at the very top, and I self-sabotage. How can I get out of that thinking?
So Diane, that is something that I work with so much with all my CEOs, because we all do it. And when you're self-sabotaging, it's because you haven't leveled up your declarations on who you are. And in a sense, you're starting to rise up above where your current belief of who you are, and it's uncomfortable. And we self-sabotage so we can come back to who we believe we are. So these who am I declarations, we want them to actually be outside of who we believe we are right now in this moment today. In a sense, it is our future self that we are declaring. And in the moment, we are choosing to be a version of ourselves that maybe we've never been before. So I would say, look at your I am statements and your declarations and expand them, level them up to go beyond who you are right now in this moment. And repeat them morning and night, over and over and over again. Self-sabotage again comes, let me just repeat this. It comes when you're trying to go back to who you believe you are right now. That's why it happens. So you've got to expand your belief in yourself.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Makes sense.
Awesome.
Awesome. Murad.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, this is amazing. Yeah, I feel fear when I start thinking about, lack of money or, this is not going to work. And then I feel paralyzed.
Yep.
And, so like declare who am I and what do I want? Take action now.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's great because then I can get outside of fear. But that's my biggest hindrance is just fear of letting my family down, fear of this is not going to work. It's going to be another thing that I tried and didn't work. And then I feel paralyzed. So
yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. And keep this in mind, Murad. It's just a thought, and you are not your thoughts. You are not.
Yeah.
You're not your thoughts. And so you can notice them when they show up. Oh, there it is again. I'm afraid that I'm going to destroy my whole life. Isn't that interesting, right? Separate yourself from the thoughts. It's not fact. It's not truth. It's just a thought. It's moldable, shapeable. There's an E at the end of shape. You can create your life and your future. Are you going to get it perfect? I mean, this is the other thing we should address. Are you going to get it perfect? No. You will make mistakes. But if you're moving, you will recognize the mistakes very quickly and you can course correct. And this is the game. Like, this is how people like Krista get to the level that they're at. They're moving so fast and they're making decisions and they're course correcting as they go. And it allows you to take these quantum leaps in your life. So know that you're not perfect. Nobody is. You will make mistakes. And when you can acknowledge that, that immediately starts to get the fear to dissipate that I'm going to make mistakes. When you just acknowledge it, you know what? I will make mistakes and I can course correct when I do that.
Thank
I
you.
love too, Katie. Thank you, Mira, how you said, Katie, fear is like a thought that's in the future that you're projecting. It's something that hasn't even happened yet. Like, that is so powerful. Like, you're worried about something that hasn't happened. So you're projecting something that doesn't even exist, which is awesome. Violetta.
You're still muted, Violetta.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, here. Oh,
Go ahead.
okay. I think you've answered my question, but like for me, I'm very decisive. So I'm deciding and I'm moving forward and doing it right away, implementing. But the thing is, then when things are not happening, then I'm start second guessing myself and doubting. So that's where my challenge is. So is it in a daily practice? We need to remind ourselves about these two questions, like every day, constantly, so our brain don't forget.
Yes. And you're pointing this out. This is why this is a question. It's in the form of a question intentionally. Because when you ask your mind a question, it engages your mind. Your mind can actually help you if you engage it the right way. It needs just a little bit of direction. Fear can almost become like a bad habit. And it's like biting your nails or drinking soda. It's just something triggers us and all of a sudden we go into a place of fear. And so we need to replace it. Because how do you eliminate a bad habit? It's not by stopping doing it. That's just nearly impossible to do. It takes a level of discipline that most humans just don't have. So you shift and change a bad habit by replacing it with something that will benefit you, right? Something that's, quote, good or healthy. And so when you notice fear, replace it with these two questions and declare who you are and what you want. And here's the last thing I want to make sure you guys understand. Do I experience fear in my life? 100%. Does Krista? 100%. Do it anyways. You don't have to have an absence of fear in order to take action. Let the fear almost become a fuel. And the fear is a signal that says you're outside of your comfort zone. That's right where you want to be. That's where the progress, the prosperity, the limitless prosperity that you're looking for, it's in that zone. That's where it is. If you're playing it safe, you're not going to have limitless prosperity. You just won't. So if you're not experiencing any fear, there's a problem. You're too in your comfort zone.
Awesome. Somebody said in the chat, Katie, one of the best days of the challenge yet. So that's good to you. Eden. No, we lost her. Jason, until we get Eden back. Jason.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hey, Jason.
My question is, so I understand that you're asking for the IMs and then the disclosures, and if you were to sum it up in like so let's just say that I take that information that I record, mentally of that, and then in about 10 to 15 days, I'm starting to get results. Say that I'm starting to move forward. Is there another step or another thought that you do so you're making massive changes to how you are handling how you are currently doing things right now, right? Regarding fear in that nature. I mean, I'm in a situation where I feel like I have to start all over from my situation and recreate. I've been successful in my business, but at the same time, 3 years ago, it all went crashing down due to personal and professional choices.
Okay, let me jump in right here, Jason. You're not starting over. You are not the same man that you were 6 weeks ago, 6 months ago, 6 years ago. And you have learned from that experience. In fact, one of the greatest educations you'll ever get is from a failed business. It teaches you so much. Learn the lessons of that experience. It wasn't a failure. It was an amazing education. And you're not starting from zero. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting with a wealth of experience and knowledge that will help you in making these decisions. And it will help you in course correcting. So yes, the fear shows up because it remembers the pain of the past. It does. And you can be in the driver's seat and say, yeah, I am feeling that fear because I remember the pain of the past. And I have learned from those experiences and I am doing it different because I am different. You're not the same man. You are different. So it's not the same situation. You are not starting over. What I'm doing right now is I'm changing the frame. When you frame it in a way where it says, I'm starting from scratch, I have to start over, I'm starting from zero, that's a very victim mentality and you will get a victim result. It is a lens of scarcity and you will get a scarcity result when you take action through that scarcity lens. And so we need to shift your frame, your thoughts. They're shapeable, they're moldable. Shift your thoughts. What you're getting is a default because of the pain of the past. And again, you can live that default if you want, or you can rise up and shape your thoughts. We are all creators of our reality. We are creating our reality all day long. And it starts with our thoughts. Our thoughts shape the way that we feel, which then determines what kinds of action we take. And this is the chain reaction. Thoughts create feelings and emotions, create our action. And if you can go to the beginning, thoughts, and shift the thoughts that are having you feeling scarcity and taking action out of fear, if you can intercept those thoughts and shift them to thoughts of prosperity, to thoughts of aligning with your power, to thoughts of choice and agency, you shift those thoughts. I am not a victim. I'm a man who has learned from my experiences and rises up. And Jason, I have to tell you, like I've had so many failures, and I know Krista is the same. I've had so many failures, quote failures. Learn from those experiences and you will be light years ahead of your competition because of that.
Oh my gosh, it's so funny. If you listen to everything that she's talking about, it's like, I mean, all the people we've had on they haven't watched each other's things, right? I didn't know what Katie was going to talk about today, but it's like we're all saying the same thing. It's just amazing to me. We only have time for one more question. We're already actually overdue. So Eden, I'm going to go ahead and let you do if you're still there. I know you got kicked off. Oh, Eden, go ahead, Eden. Go ahead, unmute. If you guys can unmute Eden, that'd be great. Can you unmute?
Oh, there we go. Okay, finally. Thank you. I had a question. So also your energy and conviction is awesome. I love it. Thank you. So thus far, I've been making decisions based on like my belief and my passion and my like emotional connection to my why. And I'm starting to get to this level of business where I'm spending this money and I'm doing all these crazy things. And I need tools, I think, to make better calculated decisions. And I think that might help my fear. What do you think? And what resources do you have?
It's not a complex tool. It's this. I think we have a tendency to overcomplicate things. And if you can write things out and map them out, Eden, I mean, you guys can't see this. This whiteboard right here, it's massive. It's like 10 feet across at least. And it's a way for me to map out and like get all of my thoughts out on paper. Powerful people get out of their head. And so if you want to really make a calculated decision, you can't do it just by figuring it out in your head. You've got to get out of your head. I'm a product designer by trade, and I've learned that creating products requires a lot of thinking and brainstorming outside of your head. And so just get out of your head. That's the biggest thing, including like write down all of your fears. If you're afraid of something, it's hiding in the recesses of your mind. Write them all out and look at them and be like, that's what I was afraid of. I can handle that. That doesn't scare me. Get them out. Get out of your head. If you don't have a 10-foot whiteboard, get some wrapping paper, and tape it, the backside up on your wall and map it out, draw it out. What is it that you're creating? You have some thoughts and feelings and emotions and desires, amazing creativity within you, and you want to get that out into the world. And it starts by literally getting it out on paper. So like more than apps or software programs or organization things, seriously, my greatest tool is pen and paper. It will help you so much more than people realize. I always take a journal with me when I'm flying. It's the best time to think. The world is not interrupting you. Your phone is not ringing off the hook and you're not getting constant notifications. It's a moment to really be present and be still, as the scriptures say. It's a very powerful thing. Stillness is incredibly powerful. And your mind actually has some really amazing ideas and concepts if you can give it some time to focus. So journal, get out of your head, write your ideas out, map them out, and then make the decision and move. That's what I would say.
I love it. So super, super simple. We overthink things. Okay, everyone. That was
awesome.
Katie, thank you so much. So listen, I know that you and I have the same mentors. We've been mentored by Russell Brunson, and we have this training coming up. What would you say to people that like you've been coached and mentored with the same people that I have? Join Thrive 135. They are offering some incredible tools and resources. It's unbelievable. And I know that Katie and I share the same philosophies and beliefs on learning these type of people. So everyone, make sure you signed up. What do you say about that, Katie?
Well, I would say I am a woman who has invested significantly in myself. Who you see today is a result of those investments that I have made. My clients today are paying me $120,000 a year to work with me. How did I get to that level? It was by working with coaches and mentors. It is a way to take quantum leaps from where you are, okay? You're working with somebody who can see around the corner, who's been where you're wanting to go, and who can shine a light on the things that you need to be aware of that you can't see from your perspective. So what Krista is offering to you is an amazing opportunity. It will literally transform your life. And listen, I know that it takes a significant leap of faith. And know that this is not about Krista, and you're not investing in Krista and her program. What you're doing is you're investing in you. You are your greatest asset. The way that you build the life that you want is by investing in you, and this is your opportunity. And I say, do this 100%. Put the money down, find the money.
Oh, it's free, Katie. The challenge is free. The challenge is free from Tony and Dean. They're going to be offering a $997 offer, which I'm going to tell them all 1,000% to do. It's for what they're offering for $997. You and I have both paid $50,000 for. I can't believe it. It's so good. So
yeah.
But yeah, their Thrive Challenge is free. It starts August 2nd to August 6th. Go sign up. They will be making an offer again. I'm not making any money off of it. But I believe in what they're doing. Katie and I have worked with them. Russell Brunson is also going to be up there, who's our mentor, and many more. So Katie, thank you. I love you. You did so good.
You're welcome, Krista. This was so awesome.
I'm going to go back and watch it myself several times.
Oh, good. I love it.
I love you, friend. Sign up for her podcast, What's Working Now. Katie is amazing. And break out into your groups. I'm going to definitely ask Katie to come back again because I know everyone loved her, and have her for a little bit longer for sure. And I will see you all tomorrow, 8:30. Break out into your groups, and everyone have a great day. Make sure you do your homework. Chelsea, I'll let you take over to put their homework up. Katie, thank you, honey.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Thanks so much for watching my video. You can learn more about how to be a successful real estate professional by watching other videos that I have. And be sure to subscribe to my channel. And as always, make it a great home selling and buying day.